Hey everyone, it's me, Darlene. I am here with a quilt block that I have done before. 4 years ago, actually. I just looked back. I'm going to do it again because it's been a while and because I sell 4x8 pre-cut bricks. I call these bricks. And I think they're going to be perfect for this block. Okay, half square triangles. We all know what that is. You put two squares together. Well, the original way is you had actual triangles and you sewed them together. But you know how we do it. We put two squares together, we draw a line on the diagonal, we sew on each side of that line, we cut on the line and we open up both sides and you end up with two half square triangles. We're doing half rectangle triangles. Some people like to call them half square rectangles. No, no, no. You're starting out with rectangles, and if we were to do it the old-fashioned way, we would be cutting our rectangles in half, so we would have half rectangle triangles, but we're going to do it the way that we do the half square triangles, and we're going to get two half rectangle triangles at one time. Okay? I know that sounded confusing. Here's what you do. Start out with two rectangles, the same size. Mine are 4x8. Now, I can't really draw a line on this. Well, I could if I got my white chalk. But on one of them, draw a line on the diagonal. See? I go from this point all the way down to this point. All right? Now, normally, for the squares, we lay them down like that, one on top of each other, and then we sew. But you can't do that with the rectangles. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to tell you to go watch that other video, because at the end, some of you will remember I used to do this quilt board thing and show the designs that you could make. And, you know, you might want to go check that out. Don't ask me what that program was. It's ancient. I can't even get it anymore. When I had to get my last new computer, I couldn't use that program anymore, so that's why I don't do that anymore. So, back to this. You're going to take your diagonal. This point, instead of going here, it's going to go here, like this. The other part of your diagonal, instead of, you know, going here, it's going here. So you're going to lay this out like that. Okay? Instead of this, you're doing this. And when we sew diagonal things that are wonky together, we can shift it up or down as needed to make the edges match up when you open it, but we can't do that in this case because we're working on two ends at the same time. So just put your diagonal line up here and here so you have what looks like almost like a cross. And because this is weird, I do like to put a pin on each side, and then we're going to sew on each side. Whoops, now see it slipped a little bit here, so I have to rearrange. You do want your line to be on the diagonal for those points to match up as best as you can. Alright. I probably would do better without pins. Oh, I'm good there. I'm good there. Good enough. I'm going to sew on each side of that line, 1/4 inch seam allowance. And mine still shifted. Look, how disappointing. I'm sure it's okay. It better be, because it's going to shift for you too. Now we're cutting on the line. They're going to be trimmed anyway. Come saw. And then we're going to open. Look at how cool this is. Look at that. And now see, there is quite a bit of a difference here. So those are going to be trimmed. I'm going to trim it down to where the pink is. So I'll be taking about a 1/2 inch off each end of both of these guys. I'm going to go press them first. And here we have our 2 half rectangle triangles. This is a pretty cool block if you like working with rectangles. You can make them scrappy, a whole bunch of different prints, and you can just line them up like that, or you can line them up like this. And if you were to repeat this on other rows, you could have long diagonal stripes going down. It's not quite a square, but you could square them up. If you sewed this together, you know, measure across how wide it would be, and then you'd have to trim it to that height. You can do whatever you want, but I am going to insist you go watch the other video because I took it one step further in that one. I just kind of like skipped through that video to see how I did this because I couldn't really remember. And what I did is I cut the blocks in half, and that was really cool because it gave 4 different, now what almost looked like half square triangles. And go check that out, and you can make some square blocks that way. Even if cutting in half doesn't make them perfectly square, you could, you know, trim those, and it would give you a whole bunch of unusual blocks. Very cool. So the link for that video will be down below. Thank you so much for watching a quickie video. I'll be back with more soon. Bye!